Archaeologist's log. Day 4. Return to the Spirit Wood. I awoke in the early hours of the morning. I made my bed, smoothing out every wrinkle in the sheets and blankets with precision. It was in the tradition of archaeologists to leave their rooms at the inn in impeccable condition, so as to ensure the guild's reputation stay in good standing with the innkeepers. And, bowing to them, I took my leave of the inn one last time before embarking on my expedition into the northern swamp. My first stop would be at the stablery next door to the inn. I was to retrieve the caravan and horse I purchased with the gold that the fine citizens of Trinsic had donated to my cause, and guide them north, through the Spirit Wood. Previously, I had instructed the crew to go on ahead of the caravan, so as to set up a makeshift campsite in the Spirit Wood, on the edge of the swamp. Even though the journey could be made in a single day, the eve was to be upon us before reaching our final destination, and I thought it best not to take any chances. Not, especially, after my meeting with the governess of the Free City, whose deep passion for the well-being of her people had warmed my heart. As I made my way toward the city gate, once again, a man approacheth.
Hold, kind sire. I return to thee once again, with a delivery from the governor, Lady Sky Wolfbane. It is her wish that this lantern keeps thou safe in thy travels. Good day.
I thank thee for thy service, I said, taking a bow. Please inform the lady that I am most grateful. There before me, resting elegantly on the sandstone pavers, was a beautiful golden lantern. Tiny figurines of angels lined this gilded masterpiece. I wrapped a cloth around it, so as to protect its delicate exterior designs, and placed it carefully into my backpack. I took a moment to briefly recall my time in the city. Its citizens had been most hospitable to myself and the crew. The innkeepers had kept the room clean and comfortable. The scholars at the Encyclopedia Magica had been especially accommodating. Crew. I shall be making a note of it in my report to the guild. I had finally taken my leave of the city. There, at the city gates, stood a well-cultured knight, wrapped in ancient purple garments. A great history had been engraved along his plated armor, from his cuirass right to the tip of his boots. It was clear that he had seen his fair share of battle and turmoil.
Hail, kind sire. I am Archersnon, hired sword to the archaeologist, as per the instruction of the governor of the Free City of Trinsic, payment provided. Please, allow me to accompany you on your journey. It is my sworn duty to protect thee, on thy expedition into the northern swamp.
I accepted the offer of the hired sword, and we took leave of the city together. Back, now, into the Spirit Wood we headed. I'd grown eager with anticipation of finally seeing this strange pyramid-shaped structure with my own two eyes. It had turned out to be a rather pleasant journey. The steady song of local birds had calmed my nerves, as we walked deeper into the wood. I turned back, taking in one last gaze of the City of Honor. 'Twas true, in fact, that the entire journey thus far had been great fun. The city and its inhabitants had been most welcoming. Perhaps I may make my way back there eventually. But at the moment, there was much work to be done. The first item on the agenda is a night spent under the stars, on the edge of the Spirit Wood. Then, the following day, a treacherous journey through the northern swamp. I only hope that everyone makes it safely to our destination, considering the many dire warnings I had received during my time in the Free City. The governess, being the most dire of which, who hath given me a golden lantern, an engraving which stated that the gift was given in loving memory of those who had fallen in the city of Trinsic. And on the side, there was another one which appeared to be much more recently engraved. I held the lantern up in the daylight, and read the second engraving aloud. The pride in our hearts burns like a lantern, and we fight for what we hold dear. At long last, we had arrived at the campsite. It had appeared that the crew had been off hunting in the nearby area. My legs had grown tired from the journey. And for now, it seemed like a good place to take a nap.